It's Thursday night, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel. Oh, yeah. Where's Walter Travel? There you go. It's the Thursday night edition of our open forum. It's an open cruise Q&A tonight, and I thought we'd talk about our group cruises a little bit. We got some updates on some things happening in 2026, maybe 2027. I don't know. But if you've got questions, certainly drop them in the chat and we'll do our very best to answer them. Once again, SL is here from Scotland. Hello, Scotland. How are you, man? So good to see you. Hey, Alex. Hey, Annette. Betty's here. Sue and Phil counting down the days till Alaska. Rebecca, do we have any ideas?
13.
13 days to Alaska. Yes. Well, actually, is that 13 days to the cruise or 13 days till we leave?
To the cruise.
To the cruise, because we're leaving a week from Monday. We're going to spend some time in Seattle, and then we're going to board the Oceana Riviera. I think we've got about 36 folks coming with us for a 12-day cruise in Alaska. I cannot wait. Hey, Celeste! It was so great to see you and Walter on the cruise last week. If you didn't follow along, I'm still, I haven't posted much video on YouTube. I really apologize. It's all been over on TikTok so far for the most part. But we had a lovely, lovely group on the Norwegian Aqua. I was so happy to meet all y'all. It's my favorite thing about cruising in the groups is that we finally get a chance to meet y'all. And now as we go on more and more groups, some of you are starting to come on repeats. And it is so much fun. So I really hope you can come along with us on one of our group cruises soon. I will post some new stuff very shortly. But hello, north of Tampa. Hey, Carol. How are you? Good to see you. Kathy's here. Bill's fan. Hello, Canada. Hey, how are you? And you guys really do say a lot, don't you? It's not just a joke. Corey's here. Hi, Corey. How are you? Laura. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Thursday night edition of Cruise Chat Live. So let's talk about Alaska a little bit. What are we going to be doing? Do I still have the graphic? I can't even remember. I might. There it is. This is what we are doing in just a couple of weeks. I am so freaking excited. We're going to start. So typically we would not do a cruise from Seattle because, we always want to do the one way or we want to do Vancouver because when you do a round trip 7 nights from Seattle, you kind of throw away a port because the ship has to stop in Canada somewhere. And usually what they do is they stop in Victoria for like 3 hours. You can't even get off the ship. So it's just basically, a sea day. You don't really get a chance to explore another port. But when you go, say, Alaska to Vancouver, Vancouver to Alaska, or you do a round trip Vancouver, you usually get an extra port day. So typically we would not sail Alaska out of Seattle. But in this case, it's a 12-day cruise. And in fact, Oceana has 9-day cruises out of Seattle as well. You get plenty of port stops. And our stops are something like, I think our shortest stop is 8 or 9 hours, and our longest stop is like 14 or 15 hours. We're getting really long port stop. And that's something that you always have to consider when booking some of these cruises or looking at some of the itineraries. It's nice when you have a bunch of port stop, but are you actually going to be there long enough to actually enjoy it? And man, I am so ready. In fact, I've got my Fuji X-T3, which I love. And what I absolutely love about this, I had a Canon AE1 in high school. And this looks just like it. If you remember, like those of you who are of a certain age and you're from the 80s, the Canon AE1 looks just like this. And there's a great website out there. So this is my lens. I've got a 16 to 55, I think it is. So yeah, I think it's a 16 to 55 millimeter, which is nice for normal photography. But, when you're in Alaska, wildlife is not going to come walking over to you and pose and wait for you to take a picture. The wildlife is going to be off the boat. It's going to be on the land. It's going to be in the air. And, having a longer zoom lens is always nice. So what I did was I rented a lens from Lens Rentals. LensRentals.com is a great company. I've actually been working with them well over 10 years because I used to rent stuff from them in my old business. And I've got a 400 millimeter lens coming with a 1.5 adapter. So I should be able to push out to about 600 millimeter on the zoom. And I am so excited. And this is like a $2,200 lens that I'm renting for about $270 for 20 days. So if you are a photography nut, or maybe you don't have a camera like this, but you'd love to take pictures with a camera like this, LensRentals.com, man. You can rent the whole camera kit. You can just rent the lens kit. You can rent microphones, batteries, you name it. You can rent all this stuff. So I highly recommend them. And I've got my little battery pack underneath there so I can fire off, 100 shots in a minute. So I'm like so freaking excited about this. I love this. I am so excited about Alaska. Alaska is going to be an intense one, man. If you want to work with us and you want to do some booking, some planning, some whatever, get a hold of us before next Sunday. You got about a week to really get a hold of us, because once we go, in Seattle, we'll definitely have some time. But once we get to Alaska, we've got 36 people with us. It's a very land-intensive itinerary. So I'll be available in the late evenings to do work probably. But, if you want to work with us, definitely get a hold of us soon. I love this. Alex wants to know, what is everybody's next cruise? What is everybody's next cruise? I love this. Corey still has his Canon AE1. I can't believe that, Corey. Sue and Phil. You're going to be in Alaska. Yes, with us. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you all. And Bill's fan, we do say Ella. I love it. But yeah, what's everybody's next cruise? Where is everybody going on your next cruise? That's a great question, Alex. Wow, Corey, I can't believe you still have your AE1 and your lenses. I had them, probably like one of our most recent moves, really.
I think it stopped working or something went wrong.
Yeah, it stopped working. I just kind of kept it as a little keepsake. But I would say within the last 8 years, I got rid of it. But yeah, that was really something. So, wow. Let me just switch this back out. So what's everybody saying here? We got Norwegian Aqua, Laura. Oh man, we had a great time on the Aqua. Not a perfect ship, but a really, really good ship. The Prince Revolution show, well worth waiting an hour for. I think the Fleetwood Mac show, well worth waiting an hour for. Element show, I saw it once. I don't need to see it again. It's one of those high concept things, but yeah. And if you can get into Sid Norman's early, the band sounded great. In fact, I think it's the same band that did Fleetwood Mac. A lot of good food, Indulge Food Hall, amazing. So Alex is going on the Escape. That was our first ship after the pandemic. Only 1,800 people on a ship built for about 4,000. It was glorious. Oh my God, it was so nice. I wish we could do that again. I really do. Annette's going to be on a 9-day cruise on Royal Caribbean, going to Bermuda, Puerto Rico, St. Martin, and Grand Turk. Love it. We're finally going to meet Nurse Tara in September. Cannot wait. On the Brilliant Lady going from New York City to Bermuda. It's going to be our first time to Bermuda. It's going to be our first time sailing out of New York City. Oh my gosh! And our
Nurse Tara can give us all sorts of advice on Bermuda.
Yeah, that's right. Because Nurse Tara goes to Bermuda a lot. Rick, how you doing? Rick is going on Oceania and the Western Caribbean. I believe Rick had booked on the which one? Vista. I think you're booked on the Vista, which is the new one. Beautiful. Betty doing 14 days on the Apex to Norway with a pre-trip to the UK coming up in August. Yay! And they just got back from a fabulous cruise tour on Holland America from Alaska. So that is fantastic. Eric is also going up to Alaska, 71 days on the NCL Joy. Carol doing New England, Canada with Tony and Jenny B. Oh, that's a good one. In fact, let's put that one up on the screen, shall we? Let me do this.
Wait, I just want you to really read Nurse Tara's comment.
Which one?
The most recent one.
She says, yes, I can't wait to meet you and Rebecca. You'll love Bermuda. That's what she says. Why?
Oh, the and was behind something. I didn't see it.
No. She wants to meet me and you, not just you.
Darn.
So, yeah. Rebecca was excited because she thought you just wanted to meet her, not me. It's true, though. Most people do want to meet her because you all see me. You're all like, oh, hi. Is that you? Yeah. Where's Rebecca? Where's Rebecca? Where is she? Because, and then when she says something, they're all like, oh, I hear her. So, yeah. So it is true. Y'all want to meet Rebecca. You really don't care about me because you see me all the time. So it's really funny. But, you brought up that cruise. Let's pop that up there. Tony and Jenny B going on the incredible Enchanted Princess, Canada, New England, out of New York, round trip. That's going to be 7 days. 7 days. You're going to sail out of New York. You're going to go to Newport, Rhode Island, Boston, Massachusetts, Portland, Maine, St. John, New Brunswick, Halifax, Nova Scotia. And then you're going to have one sea day to bring the ship back down to New York City. That sails on October 11th through the 18th of this year. We do still have space on that cruise. If you want to come join, I want to say somewhere between 40 and 50 people on that one right now. So if you would like to join Tony and Jenny B and about 40 or so of your newest friends, certainly do reach out. It is a gorgeous ship. It's going to be a wonderful itinerary. If you want to do something a little bit different, you could come join us. This is why we're not going to be on that cruise. Otherwise, we would totally be there with Tony and Jenny B. But we already had this one booked. This is a really cool Canada, New England, but it ends up in Miami. We're going to come down the Eastern Seaboard. And we still have, I have just a couple left. We still have a couple of staterooms left at 10% off right now on this one. This is actually the Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady, the same one we're going to be on with Nurse Tara in September. We're going on it twice in 2 months. Crazy. But the Brilliant Lady is going to do a Canada, New England sailing from Quebec starting on October 3rd. We'll sail out of Quebec. We'll go to St. John's, New Brunswick, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Eastport, Maine. We'll go to Boston, Massachusetts, and then we're going to make our way down the Eastern Seaboard. We're going to stop off in Charleston, South Carolina. And by the way, Charleston, Halifax, and St. John's are all late night stops. We're going to be there for a long time. So you could actually have dinner on land in Charleston, South Carolina if you want. After we leave Charleston, South Carolina, we come down to Miami. 13 days later, on October 16th, we will make the triumphant entrance into Miami. It will be the first time the ship comes into Miami. It is the last ship for a while for Virgin Voyages. So we do expect they're going to make a big deal out of this entrance because they're not building any more ships for a while. So it should be a lot of fun. So you got Tony and Jenny B doing a standard 7-night Canada, New England, or you could come and join us on something that's going to be really, really unique, where we're going to start out in Quebec. We're going to sail down. So the Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady is 18 plus, so it is adults only. All of the food is included, the Wi-Fi, the gratuities, the soft drinks, all included in the cruise. And they have hammocks. So Rebecca and I will be out on there. We're going to be on hammocks together because we got the new sea terrace that has 2 hammocks on it. I'm so excited. We're going to swing together. I can't wait. I can't wait. That maybe that'll be one of our long videos that I do. We'll have like our feet just dangling by the balcony. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have so much fun. So much fun. So let's see. Celebrity Edge. Roll Tide is going on the Celebrity Edge to Alaska in 28 days. So we'll probably be ships passing in the night. Oh, see, there you go. So Nurse Tara is excited to meet you, but you don't have to worry about me feeling bad. I know you guys really don't care. You're just like, we see you all the time.
Well,
where is she?
You'll also be busy with your conference. I won't.
What?
You'll be busy with your conference. I won't.
Oh yeah, New York. That's true, Nurse Tara. So I am going to be busy. So on the sailing with you going to Bermuda, I'm actually bringing on board, I think we're bringing on board around 200 people for a user conference, of which I'm a part of. I'm actually a speaker, and I'm going to be taking part in the conference. So I'm going to be tied up for a couple of days anyway on the ship. So you'll be hanging with Rebecca doing speed puzzling and whatever it is you guys do.
Hopefully you like to do jigsaw puzzles, because I'm really, and hopefully they'll be doing the speed puzzling because I'm really into it.
Kathy's hoping to get on the Philadelphia cruise. Hey, why don't we talk about that group cruise since she brought it up? There is still room available. I swear we have filled up pretty much all of the solo cabins ourselves on this one. It's just insane. Lalita, so many people are excited about this. And why are we excited about it? It's the Norwegian Jewel. It's not like it's a brand new ship or anything, but why are we so excited about this? It's the first cruise out of Philadelphia in like 20 years, something like that. So they have not had a cruise out of Philadelphia. Hopefully this is the beginning. Hopefully this is the beginning of a new era out of Philly, because, we got New York, we got New Jersey, we got Baltimore. It would be nice to have another Eastern Seaboard in there. Now, it does have to fit under the bridges, so that's why it is one of the smaller ships. But the Jewel has gotten great reviews from everybody who had been on it, that we've sent on it, and they've all come back saying, hey, it's a great ship. It's a lot of fun. And by the way, as I go through all of these, there are links down in the description or you can just simply go to where'swaltertravel.com, click on group travel. You can click on that anytime and see everything that we have. We're actually going to be posting a new one for some new friends of ours this weekend. I think they're announcing it this weekend, but we have some new friends that are going to be doing something, and we'll have that posted on our page. At least I think we will. I don't know, but they're going to announce it, and we'll let them tell you guys everything about it. But we're very excited. We have a new partner coming on. In fact, we have something else to tell you guys tonight too, which is very exciting. But the Norwegian Jewel, it's going to be the Lalita Loca Triangle cruise. All right. You're going to go down to Bermuda. We're going to spend like a night or two. Then we're going to cross over to Charleston, and then we're going to come back up to Philadelphia. So it's the Lalita Loca Triangle cruise, what we're calling it. It's around 225 people on this one. So if you want to meet Tony and Jenny B, you want to sail out of Philadelphia for the first time. Now, anybody who's going on this cruise and you're watching this right now, make sure you bring your patience pants. Again, this is the very first cruise out of Philadelphia in like 20 years. We don't know what's going to happen when we show up at the terminal. Who knows? They might be rowing little dinghies to bring us out to the ship. I really don't know what's going to happen.
We're not even really sure where the terminal is precisely.
Yeah, there's a marker on the map that says, here's where you park for Norwegian. And it looks like, some drive-by parking lot. And there's no specific place where the ship is going to be. So it's going to be very interesting. It's the naval yard. So that'll be very interesting. And I believe we're going to go under 2 bridges on the way out, which would be kind of cool. So you get 2 chances to go under the bridge, which is a lot of fun. So that's April 16th through the 23rd of 2026. We're very honored to be the travel partner with Tony and Jenny B and the Lalita Loca channel, along with the amazing Stephanie Mullen and the Shauna Steph channel, and Peter Jones with the Cruise RX channel. And of course, it's a great honor to have Gary Bembridge recommending us as one of only 2 travel agents in the United States that he will recommend. And we're just so thankful for his friendship. His friendship has been amazing. He's a remarkable guy off camera. I mean, he's pretty much what you see on camera, but he's so well-spoken. And I have reached out to him a couple times in the past just to get some feedback, get some questions, get some guidance. He's just got a great ear. He's just got a great ear and a great mind, and just very willing to share a lot of information. So I'm very, very, very proud of that. So Carol D says we've got a lot of so many in the Enchanted group. Yeah, Carol, you're going to be with a lot of good friends on there. Thing is, you've got 6 ports in a row, so it's not really like there's going to be a lot of time to do things together as a group. We may be setting up like some time in the main dining room for you guys to get together. Certainly when you come on the ship, you will be meeting Tony and Jenny B somewhere on the ship as you come on that first day. And then the last day is the sea day. But in between that, you got 6 ports stopped in a row. So you're going to be busy on land for sure. Rick wants to know, have we posted the Aqua group photos anywhere? You know what? I have not. I need to do that. I actually need to Photoshop it, because if you remember, Rebecca's in one set of pictures and I'm in another set of pictures. So I got to Photoshop it so we're all there together. And it won't be obvious at all that I'm Photoshopped. Trust me. I'm kidding. It's probably going to be terrible.
I don't know. Is it going to be Hallmark terrible?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll be Hallmark terrible. I will totally do that. All right. Let me go ahead and bring something. I see that Alex has got a question. I want to also mention we have just a stonking amazing cruise that's going to be happening next year in October. If you've been considering Italy, you've been considering Croatia. This is a great cruise. We actually have clients going on it this year as well. This is a very popular cruise with celebrity, where they either go from Ravenna around to Civitavecchia, or they go from Civitavecchia around to Ravenna. So Ravenna is the large ship cruise port for Venice. It's about 3 hours away, so it's not like Port Canaveral, where it's that close. It is a good 3 hours away. But that's where this cruise is going to start, and it's going to come on down to Split, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Messina, Salerno, Portofino, La Spezia, Civitavecchia. I like to try to slide. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I am Italian, so I try to make it sound like I know what I'm. If my brother-in-law Joe was here, he speaks fluent Italian. He could say all the cities perfectly. But this is going to happen October 3rd through November 2nd. So essentially, we're going from Venice around to Rome. And that's the 10-day group cruise. And we do have group rates for this one, but only if you get the celebrity all-included package. If you're just going to book the standard room, it's going to be at the prevailing rates, whatever celebrity is doing right now. But if you get the beverage and Wi-Fi package, we actually do have a discount on that. I think the last I looked at it was around $400 off for the stateroom with that Wi-Fi package and the beverage package. And then if you want to, this happens to be part of a back-to-back. The very next sailing is the 15-day transatlantic when they bring the ship over to San Juan. Rebecca and I will be staying on board. I believe one of our guests is staying on board for that one as well. So that's a full 25-day cruise if you want to stay on board. And I don't have the stops in there, but there are 3 stops in Spain. There's 1 stop in Morocco. And then we'll be stopping in St. Martin before we get to San Juan. So that's a full 25-day itinerary. And I'll tell you what, when we first opened this up, it was ridiculously cheap to do all 25 days. Already, just in about 2 months, the prices have really started to climb on that transatlantics are selling out now. They never used to. The transatlantics have become, that bucket list thing. We really need to do a transatlantic, and it's really become a very popular thing, of late. And by the way, we encourage you to come on that one if you'd like to. That'll be next year. In the beginning of the year, if you want to do if you like the idea of having a lot of sea days, but you don't want to do a transatlantic, this could be a nice cruise for you. This is going to be Hawaii from Los Angeles, and there's a total of 10 sea days, 5 days to get from California out to Hawaii, 5 days to get from Hawaii back over to Ensenada. So it's almost like doing a transatlantic, but without doing a transatlantic. So this is going to be from Los Angeles. We're going to go to Honolulu, Hilo, Kahului, Kauai, and Ensenada with the 10 sea days. And we've got a really nice group on here. I'm really excited that Eric is coming. We got to hang out with Eric last week on the Norwegian Aqua. I'm just so excited he's going to be there. I'm sure there's going to be game days. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. I'm ready to relax. We literally have an aft balcony. We're going to be looking right out at the wake. I am so excited about that. So, yes. So if you'd like to come join us on that one. And now Rebecca and I are waiting for Disney to open up the Disneyland hotels. As soon as they open the Disneyland hotels, we're planning to book the Pixar place, right? That's what we're going to do?
Probably. We have to see what the pricing is. But
Yeah, because the Grand Californian, that's going to be
I'd love to.
Yeah, but I think we're going to do Pixar.
Hey, if they wait long enough to have that come out, maybe we'll have more money so we can book it.
Hey, there you go. Maybe we'll have, but we can use that money to book another cruise.
Oh,
see? Yeah.
Oh, like the special one we might talk about later.
Special one that we might talk about later. 2027?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. 2027 cruise. That's going to be a big one. Okay. So if you want to come to Hawaii with us and do that, we're planning to spend probably 3 nights in Disney. I've never been to Disneyland. Obviously, we live right near Disney. In fact, we're going to Disney World tomorrow night. We're going to go see the fireworks. We're going to go hang out with our good friend Stephanie. We're going to go see, we haven't seen Happily Ever After since it came back. So we're going to go over there tomorrow night and watch the fireworks. So, so come join us. Hawaii. Going, so it's LA, Honolulu, Hilo, Kahului, Kauai, and Ensenada. I'll be wearing my Stitch Hawaiian shirt for sure on that one, for sure. Alex has a Norwegian question. Any recommendation of what time of day you should book specialty dining to be able to eat and catch the shows as well? So the shows were 7:30 and 9:30 on our sailing. And I don't know if that's necessarily the same on all the ships. Rebecca is shaking her head saying
it does. It can vary ship to ship and itinerary. Like it might be different in Europe than it is in Alaska than it is in the Caribbean.
Well, he's doing the Escape.
It's not always the same. I mean, that's probably a good rough estimate.
Yeah.
But it could slide a half hour either way, probably.
I think a good rule of thumb would probably be, no later than 5:30 if you want to do the late show, and no earlier than say
we had
7:30, 8 o'clock if you want to
Yeah, we did some 7:30 dinners and made the 9:30 show.
We did, but only because we had people in line.
Oh yeah.
I will say that, we had a 7:30 dinner and it got done about.
Well, that was a slow dinner.
Yeah, that was a slow dinner. So, you kind of got to be in line about an hour out for the shows that you want to line that you have to line up for. Or even if you have a reservation, like they make you reserve in time, you're not reserving a seat. So, so if you want to go see the late show, I would say try to get dinner by 5:30, 6:30, somewhere in there. If you're going to go to the early show, make dinner reservations like around 8 o'clock. So you can go to the early show and then catch dinner after. You can always go to the buffet early. So
Yeah, because
no
the
problem.
shows are what, like 45 minutes an hour, something like that?
Yeah, somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, like the Prince show was an hour. I think Prince and Fleetwood Mac were both an hour. The Element show was 45 minutes.
That felt like an hour?
It felt like an hour. Yeah. Sue and Phil are saying
the music was very slow.
It was very
And we
slow.
saw the late show on the last night. So I was very sleepy.
Sue and Phil are saying you can easily go to Cinque Terre from La Spezia, easy train. You'll show pics when you're in Alaska. Cannot wait to see that. This is my favorite thing, just getting to see everybody when we're on the cruises. So those are, I think I have now hit all of our upcoming groups because, a couple of them are now done. I'm just going to park it on this one for a little bit because we do have such a great deal on that one. But the one that Rebecca and I are kind of looking at right now, we teased it last Sunday literally at the end of the show, just as we were going off. Oh, by the way, surprise. So we have not booked anything for 2027 yet. And
we don't have a specific.
We do not.
This is a very general idea.
Yes. So what the plan is right now is that we will be doing a Christmas markets river cruise in 2027. This will most likely be in December of 2027.
Probably early December.
It will most likely, like the week after,
so people
like
can
first week in December, somewhere now.
So people can get back for actual Christmas and be at home with their families.
Exactly. And it is more than likely going to be like a 10-night cruise or maybe like a 12. It's not just
10, probably 10 to 14.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we don't want to just do the 7. There are some that go a little bit longer in the rivers. And so it will be a little bit longer, which means, those of you who want to go, you will have to have a little bit more time available to go. But we are looking, we're looking at the 2026 schedules for AMA Waterways and Avalon Waterways to get ready for 2027. Ooh. And Rebecca has it narrowed down to about 6 different itineraries that we're looking at. Well,
I threw in some, I'm leaning towards
one that's 17 days. That's crazy, but we probably won't do that.
Yeah, that one's a little expensive. I don't know if I could. I don't know if we could swing that.
I know that's kind of a crazy.
I would love to. Yeah, that would be a real bucket list, but I'm thinking maybe the 10 or 14. 7 just doesn't seem long enough.
Yeah, and I know you can throw the extension on either side. They have these land extensions on either side, but those are ridiculously expensive. They really are, and I don't think you get quite as much value out of those than if we just simply stayed on the ship for another, 3 or 4 days. It's a better value to stay on the ship, see a couple of more markets. And then if you want to stay, like we're definitely going to fly out early so we can probably be at wherever for like 2 days early just to kind of get caught up on the time and all of that. But yeah, so 2027, most likely going to be on AMA Waterways or Avalon, most likely going to be 10 to 14 days and targeting like that first week in December. So it'll be after Thanksgiving, and then you can be home for the holidays. You can bring all your Christmas stuff back and be home for the holidays.
Buy presents, ornaments.
I know. Just think of all the Christmas shopping you can do while you're on this thing and just be like, oh yeah, I brought this back from the Christmas markets in Europe. So I've always wanted to do it. And dang it, we're going to do it. We got to stop talking about it, right? That's what we tell you guys. We just got to stop talking about it and just go do it. And we can't do it in 26. We just have, we have 2 big cruises in 26.
We're not even getting back from our transatlantic till middle of November.
Till November. So, yeah. Eric, so this was a fun one. If you are going out of Los Angeles, you can stay on a ship before you cruise. I was talking to Eric today. We booked his flights and his hotel for the Hawaii cruise. He's coming with us on this group. Folks, you should come on the Hawaii cruise just to meet Eric. Eric is a freaking hoot, an absolute hoot. I can't wait to spend 16 days with this guy on this Hawaii cruise. But we booked him in the Queen Mary. The Queen Mary. Now, this is a real cruise ship that was turned into a hotel. In fact, it kind of fell into disrepair for a while, and a new ownership group bought it. It looks like they've done a nice job, but it still retains a lot of the old charm. Eric is staying in an interior room. Like they still have interior ocean view. I don't even know if they have balconies on this particular ship because it's so old.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Eric is actually going to be staying in the Queen Mary. Now there are rumors that it's haunted. So I'm hoping, maybe Eric could get haunted. But what a great idea. Now we're going to be staying at the Pixar place in Disneyland, so we won't be coming down to see that. But I think it's awesome. I can't wait to hear the report from Eric when we see him on the ship the next day. But what a cool thing. We've had a couple of people stay there, and they've come back saying it was a cool experience, actually staying on a cruise ship. And if you're sailing out on Carnival, well, geez, you can probably just walk over to the ship because the ships are right there. If you're sailing on Princess and all the other ones, then you just take an Uber or whatever around to there. So that it's just so friggin' funny. Kathy says she's also researching Riviera for the Christmas market. So Riviera is an interesting one. Riviera has been around for a while. Europeans really know the Riviera brand, but over here in the US, we really don't know them that well. They're starting to change that. And in fact, I'm working on getting them on one of our Thursday night shows so you all can meet them. But for the first time, they're really making a push in the North American market to get well known here in the North American market. And you're going to start to see them more. Now, they are one of the most progressive solo-friendly river cruise lines out there. In fact, they have entire departures that are solos only. Like nobody on the ship but solos. But they're very aggressive with their solo policies. So if you're somebody who's a solo traveler, their ships are lovely. They are, from all the reports I've read, the food isn't quite to the same standard. Service isn't quite to the same standard as the other, but it's a very good product. It's just not quite, where say Avalon, Ama, Uniworld, Viking is. It's not quite up there. It's kind of like, I guess it would be kind of like comparing, I don't know, like Princess and Explorer, kind of a thing, where Princess is good, but then you get up to Explorer. So Riviera is certainly another brand to be looking at. It's a brand that we're looking at and that we're going to be talking to. Riverside is another fabulous brand. They have all the crystal ships, actually the 2 crystal ships. They just don't have a lot of itineraries right now, so that's why we're not really looking at them at the moment. Now, one thing that's interesting, one of our clients just booked there is an ocean version of it, sort of, kinda. It's not, it's only 3 stops, so you don't get all the Christmas market. But there are some ships out there that are doing some stops that will put you in a position that you can go to the Christmas market. Not quite the same as doing the river thing. And if you're not a river cruise person, by the way, you can do land tours. There are land tours that are Christmas markets. They'll take you to all the Christmas markets. So yeah. So that is going to be that's going to be coming in 2027, folks. As soon as we have something, we will tell you, because obviously the sooner we can tell you, the sooner you can book it, and then that gives you more time to pay for it. Because it will be, it'll probably want to be the most expensive group cruise that we put together to date, but that's just the nature of a river cruise.
And you do get a lot of inclusions that you don't get on ocean cruising.
It's the one thing, I think it was John who brought it up the other day that, hey, Celebrity is going to be in the rivers by then. And the only issue I have with Celebrity right now is that from their early reports and the early things that we've seen, it sounds like they're going to run the river ship like they do the ocean ship. So it's one price to get on the ship, and then you've just got to start adding all the amenities. Whereas with Avalon and Ama, for example, the 2 that we're looking at, pretty much all inclusive, including one shore excursion at every single stop.
I think there might be something.
There's like a minor difference between the 2.
But yeah. But I mean, as far as inclusions, I can't remember if they both include gratuities or not. I know they only include the beer and wine with lunch and dinner.
Right.
And I think Ama has a cocktail hour. I don't know about Avalon.
As long as the coffee is included. That's
yes.
thing.
But
coffee and hot chocolate and cookies.
But I saw somebody had posted a bar menu, and not that I think it was in euros, but it looked like the prices were pretty reasonable. So even if you wanted something outside of and they said this big suggestion, when you go to dinner, have them top off your wine before you leave the dining room. So then you have another glass to go.
Because, you should always top off your wine when you leave a table and then go up on the top deck and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I always think about my old fashioned. Can you top this off, please? Thank you.
Apparently that is a thing that they will do for you.
It's pretty fun. Oh yeah, the person who was going on the Aqua, one of the best whiskey bars, honestly, that I've been to on any cruise ship. Now the one on Explorer was next level, but there was a bartender. I got her picture on here. She's one of the best bartenders I've had in 20 years of cruising. She was in the whiskey bar. She made an old fashioned, one of the best old fashions that I have had on a ship. I say that a lot anymore, but she really did. Man, I wish I could find her picture because she was just so good. I had to take a picture of her badge because, you know, when you find that good person, you got to take a picture of their badge so then you can do their name. We should always do that. If you got somebody who's amazing, take a picture of their badge so then you can remember them when you do it. Okay.
Just make sure you ask them first. They don't think you're just some creepy person taking a picture.
Just can I take a picture of your badge for the survey? And always do that because, you know, a lot of them have very interesting names, you know, really cool names. You're never going to remember them. So take a picture of their badge. And she was amazing. So whoever's going on the Norwegian Aqua, or if you're going on the Norwegian Aqua anytime soon, that whiskey bar is legit downstairs. And the Mora Sea package actually really impressed me. I didn't think I was going to like it based on everything because it's so nebulous as to what's really included.
I have heard less than favorable things from people who are real wine people, that they don't necessarily like the wines that are included. But, you know, I
can't help there. I'm a cocktail person. I mean, I do drink wine, but I had the wine at Palomar and I just let the sommelier pick it out. I'm like, yeah, whatever, pick one out for me. And
I did like, I had two of the zero proof cocktails and I did like both of them.
You did?
There was, I think, 4 different ones on the menu. I mean, there's other things they can make zero proof, but there were 4 specific and I like them. But I do want to point out my one big gripe on the Aqua.
What was that?
Walter and I won trivia and we didn't get nothing.
Nothing.
Not a sticker, not a pencil.
We won Broadway trivia. Not only did we win, we got 22 out of 25 right. Like we were the only ones in the 20s.
Nope.
And she's like, congratulations.
That was it.
Nothing. No keychain, not even a pen. We're crying out loud. I mean,
not
Carnival
a sticker,
makes
not a little star,
on a stick.
Something, nothing.
I just figure we should just go on in and just steal something from the store, but that would be rude, you know. Oh, Anissa, thank you, Celeste. Her name was Anissa. Oh my gosh, she was amazing, so kind. And there was another guy who also worked there, not nearly as attentive. And like she had this whole routine down, man. When she made that old fashioned, she had a whole routine and she did it didn't matter if there were 20 people standing there, one person standing there, she always did the same routine. The other guy would kind of rush it if there were a lot of people. So definitely.
And you said they did something interesting with the sweetener.
Oh yeah, that she used maple syrup. I've never heard of maple syrup in a old fashioned. Simple syrup. I do panela syrup, which is an unrefined brown sugar. I make that myself for the simple syrup, but she used maple syrup, and I'd never heard of that in an old fashioned. So I'm going to try that. Alex says they need to add the coffee. I will say that is a legit Starbucks on the Aqua. And by that, what I mean is if you've got one of those Starbucks cards or something, or you've got a Starbucks account, you can actually pay for it using the Starbucks account. It is more expensive on the ship. Like what you pay for the coffee, you're going to pay probably an extra $1.50 on the ship. But you can use your Starbucks account.
I will give you a piece of advice, though.
Oh, boy. Piece of advice. Another piece of advice from Rebecca. Hold on, people.
Yes. So if you have a Starbucks card that you are planning to dry and use on the ship, preload it with more cash than you think you'll need, because mine auto reloaded while we were on the ship and my account is still locked out and they're trying to unlock it because it came up as suspicious activity.
Oh, because the ship's Wi-Fi was like in Bermuda or Barbados.
Load your card up beforehand so it doesn't.
Your card is locked?
Yeah, so it doesn't auto reload while you're on the ship and cause
terrible.
The account to freak out.
That's a terrible thing. Yeah, because the Wi-Fi is going to pick up
from wherever it was.
It'll pick up Spain. It'll pick up, Bermuda. It'll pick up whatever. It's like whatever it's bouncing off of. So that's a good piece of advice. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So I am still currently locked out of my account.
Wow. And it's been a week.
Well, I had to call them, and I didn't get around to calling them till I think Monday or Tuesday.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so the person I talked to couldn't do that. It had to get bumped up to the fraud department, right? And supposedly within 7 days.
There you go. So
I literally can't even get into I can't do anything right now.
So there you go. So if you got, and that probably holds true for anything that's like a cash card or something like that. Make sure it's loaded up before you go on a cruise, before you go overseas, or before anything else. So,
Oh, spell check is.
Well, Celeste, you tried. Yes, she's from Mauritius. Yes.
Mauritius.
Huh?
Mauritius.
Oh, Mauritius. So sorry. Anishta. Yes, she was very cool. Amazing bartender. Thank you for that, Celeste. And again, it was awesome to see you guys on the ship. I can't wait till our next cruise. I don't know, when is our next cruise together? Do we have one booked together yet? I don't know. If not, you and Walter need to book with us again soon, because I really enjoyed cruising with y'all. I enjoy cruising with everybody.
He doesn't have to get to cruise with other Walters.
I know. Another Walter Jr., in fact.
Another Walter J. Jr.
I know. There are so few Walters in the world these days. It's not as popular a name as it used to be. So, we got to hang together when we can. But no. So, Alex, we haven't used it at a Starbucks since we got off the cruise. So we will soon.
Yeah, we don't get out
to Seattle.
We don't get out of the house much.
No, but we are going to Seattle. So that card better work before we get to Seattle, because y'all know what's in Seattle.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, it's the home of Starbucks. So
I am not holding my breath on that one.
I do want to visit. I saw Tony and Don actually visited the original one. So I do want to see if we're close enough for that. We do have a coffee tour booked in Seattle.
I think it takes you to the original one.
Does it take us to the original? Okay, cool.
I believe so.
Good. We do have a coffee tour. I think it's 5 different coffee shops we're going to go to. We're doing we're doing a food tour of Pike Place Market. So that's kind of cool. We're not only going to, tour the market, which looks phenomenal, but we're going to do a food tour in the Pike Place Market. And I think one of them is that mac and cheese place that looks insane.
I can't remember.
So much good food. So much. Oh, Celeste says she doesn't have a cruise book with us right now. Well, Celeste, now I'm sad. You guys are going to have to book with us, because I'm going to be sad until you book with us again.
Maybe you'll have to pencil in the Christmas marketplace for 27.
Christmas marketplace. I'm telling you, I really think that is just going to be a life changer for us. Kind of like when we went to Alaska the first time. That was just truly life changing. If you've never been to Alaska, you really need to go. I want to say we booked something like 200 to 300 trips up there now for folks. We've really booked a lot of folks up there. Most of those are on Princess. But we've got some really interesting options up there now. We've got Azamara is going to be up there next year. We got Explorer is going to be up there in 2 years. So there's really a lot of interesting options up there. It was getting a little bit overbooked. We really want you guys to start going like in May, June, or maybe September, get away from, the mob, if you will. There's going to be a lot of people up there. We're actually going late for us. Typically we would go a little sooner, but this particular itinerary just happened to be where it was, June into July. So we're going to be up there for the 4th of July, which should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So, Eric, the original Starbucks is right down the street from Pike Place. So I'm looking forward to seeing it all. And then we have an underground tour.
We were contemplating that.
Yeah. So they have an underground, like one of those underground tours.
But because we don't have, so we get there Monday. Tuesday morning, we're going on a Locks cruise.
Yeah, we're actually doing a cruise before our cruise. Yeah.
And then we don't have anything planned for Tuesday afternoon. So that was maybe going to happen then. Or one of the museums. And then we have the Wednesday, we have the coffee tour in the morning and the Pike Place Marketplace tour in the afternoon.
And Thursday we get on the ship.
Yep.
Yes. It's just so, and we didn't really plan it this way. I didn't realize there are 2 completely different piers in Seattle. The one that most of the ships use, and then the one that Norwegian uses just happens to be like a mile and a half from, and I don't even think it's that far from our hotel. It's like right there. We could almost walk to the pier. I was like, oh, I thought we were going out at a pier that's like, you know, a 15-minute ride away, but it looks like our pier is literally right there. I was going to arrange a shuttle, pick up everybody and take us to the pier, and it was like 3 times the price of just getting a lift. Well, yeah, just get a lift and go. It'll be so much cheaper.
We can maybe combine up in small groups and get.
Sure. Yeah, we can go over in groups of 4, groups of 6, something like that.
Yeah,
but,
get one of the XL.
But yeah, it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, I do like to arrange like those shuttles, like Tony and Jenny B. They've got a motor coach that's going to pick up everybody, take them from a hotel to the Enchanted Princess up in New York. And we will definitely have motor coaches in Philadelphia taking people because we got a lot of people. But sometimes it's just like, you know what, the motor coach doesn't make any sense because the pier is right there. And let's just go off in a bunch of Lyfts or Ubers or something like that. So, yeah. Alex says Pike Market is great. I'll tell you what I do miss not living in Atlanta is the DeKalb Farmers Market. If you're ever in Atlanta, you got to go to the DeKalb International Farmers Market. It is the craziest place. Nothing to look at, but massive. And pretty much if it's grown or made anywhere in the world, it's probably there. Mm-hmm. It's just an insane market, and I love it. So I'm really looking forward to see what Pike looks like. I also love that Lancaster market that your mom took us to. Mm-hmm. They have one of in fact, I think it is the country's oldest continuously running market up there. That's super cool. There was a dude grinding horseradish, like actually grinding the root into horseradish. Man, when you walk by, your sinuses cleared right out. Let me tell you, it was amazing. So,
and like some of the best sticky buns and whoopie pies and
just so much good food.
Shoe fly pie.
You know, Amish country has some amazing food, people. If you
I would say from a non-meat eating perspective, I wouldn't call the food amazing, but the pastries are pretty good.
Pastries are good. The meat is good. The Lebanon bologna. Oh my God. Lebanon bologna. Just, oh my God. That's all I can say. It's just, oh my God. Lebanon bologna. Just amazing. Sue and Phil, have we been to the Chihuly Garden and Glass in Seattle?
That is one of the other things I'm considering for Tuesday afternoon.
Yes.
So,
yeah, Kathy, grinding the horseradish root. The dude just like, just having a whole conversation. It's kind of like, you know, I actually have the grinder here. I have no idea how old this thing is. My grandparents' cheese grinder. And they would hang, you know, the really hot peppers and dry them out, like outside, you know, old school. And then they'd run them through the cheese grinder and they'd just be having a conversation. And if you happen to walk in the house while they were doing that, it's kind of like, you know, when the army sends you in to like get tear gas and you got to pull the mask on, like you walk in there and you're dying and they're just having this whole conversation in there. So I still remember Nani and Poppy doing that. And I keep the grinder over here just as a reminder of it. It's a wonderful cheese grinder, but yeah, the horseradish root, man, if you weren't prepared for that and you go walking by, you're like, oh my God. But then it just tastes so good. And I'll tell you what, you put some horseradish on that Lebanon bologna with some cheese. Oh my God. I'm telling you, Lebanon bologna. Now, if you get Lebanon bologna like anywhere outside of Lancaster, it's not going to be the real deal. You got to go to Lancaster and get it. And I can't remember the name, whatever that company was, but there's one particular company, Entenmann, not Entenmann's, because that's that bakery, but I think it starts with an E. Oh my God, so good, so good, so good. Sue and Phil are saying take the monorail to the Space Needle, and it's right there. There you go. We just might do that. You never know. It's one of the things that I love about traveling. It's just seeing new things. And when you're going on a cruise, just always remember, go in a few days early or stay a few days later and check out the local area if you've got the time, because there's so much to see and do. And there's so many people who like fly into Miami and they just come in that one night before and they never spend any time. They just hit the hotel, they have dinner to get on the ship, they leave. But if you came in like 2 nights early or maybe stayed 2 nights after, there is such an incredible scene in Miami. There's an incredible scene here in Orlando, New York, Baltimore. You know, there's just so many cool things to see.
Philadelphia is going to be fun.
Oh my God, Philadelphia. We're going to spend 2 full days in Philadelphia exploring before we get on the ship in April. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I do have a personal connection to, because one of my, I forget how many greats it is, but a great however many greats grandfather is actually a signer of the Declaration of Independence.
We'll have to look for that. We will have to look for that. Is the actual one there? No, the actual one's in DC,
Library
but they
of Congress.
probably got a, yeah, they probably got.
Although they have several copies. I don't know who all has copies, but.
Yeah, so we'll have to look for his name on there. Just check that out. But yeah, so Philadelphia is going to be a good one. And like this one that I just popped up on the screen, again, they Quebec to Miami. This is going to be, 13 nights for $42.69 for a balcony. That's insane. And all of your food's included, Wi-Fi's included.
Gratuities
are included, and the soft drinks are included. Like that's the total price for both of you in the room.
And if you were ambitious, group exercise classes.
And group exercise classes, like the 80s class with the shake weights. That's a really popular one. If you want to do that one, man, you got to sign up for that early. But like this one here, we've never been to Quebec, never been to Montreal. So it just so happened that flying from Orlando is a lot easier to fly to Montreal than it is to fly to Quebec. So we're going to fly into Montreal, I think 4 days before the cruise or 5 days before the cruise. We're going to spend a couple days in Montreal checking that out. Then we're going to take the train over to Quebec. We're going to spend a couple days in old Quebec checking that out. And then we're finally going to get on the ship. And that is just like, that's turning it into like a full adventure versus just going up for a cruise. And I know not everybody can do that. But when you can, that's how you really turn it into like, even more than just the cruise, because there's so much to see. And I love food. So we're always looking for that eclectic food. I'm always looking at the reviews. I'm always looking for, and yes, and now I'm using AI. We've got tools that we're now using with our travel company that I can say, look, I've never been to a lot of these cities, especially over in Europe. I've never been to a lot of these places. And I can ask my tools to find an interesting place to eat in, all of the towns of the world, like over in Europe, France, Italy, and all of that. And then when it does pull these things up, first thing I do, and of course I'll go look at it. I'm going to make sure. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so far my AI tool that we're working with now is batting 1,000 in finding really interesting, eclectic places that I don't think most of my travelers would ever find on their own. And even if they don't go, there's a couple of them been like, wow, this is a really cool, interesting idea. So that's something that we're starting to bring to bear for everybody. Not everybody has gotten these travel guides yet, but we're starting to work on getting some travel guides out there to you guys now that will give you some packing ideas. And what I'm trying to do is in every single location, I want to give you an interesting place to go. And I really want to give you an interesting place to eat because you learn so much about the culture when you eat locally, get off the beaten path, go find some of these places where the locals go. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to expand our reach. Oh my gosh, it's almost 9 o'clock already. I didn't even mention Corey. I am so sorry. I've been babbling all along, and I know Corey was watching earlier. I don't know if he's still here. I'm so sorry, Corey. I just got to talking. So we have expanded. We have our first associate agent now working with us, Corey, who was tuned in a little while ago. Again, I don't know if you're still here, Corey. I apologize, but it's no longer just me. As a travel agent with Where's Walter Travel. We now have Corey. Corey Graham has joined us as an associate agent, and he will be predominantly concentrating on Central Florida and building up our market here, because all of you guys have found me on social media.
He's still there.
Yeah, are you still here? Yay. Thank you, Corey. I am so sorry. So Corey, you're going to see Corey popping up on our webpage very shortly on the contact page. But Corey is going to be concentrating predominantly initially on the Florida market, especially the Central Florida market. As you know, it's a big cruise market here. It's a big travel market here. And you all know us. Thankfully, y'all have come along for this amazing ride, and we're a national brand because of you guys. But we're actually really not that well known in Florida, especially Central Florida, like Orlando, where we are. So Corey is going to be joining on, and he's going through some of his training right now, but then he's really going to be working to help us build up the Florida market. And then you may see him like when we're traveling and we're on some of these long trips, he may be corresponding with you to help fill in while we're away on some of this stuff. So we're really thankful for that, and really thankful and very thankful for Corey's patience, because it took a little bit longer to get him onboarded than we anticipated. but he's now part of Where's Walter Travel, and also affiliated under KHM Travel Group, our amazing host. We're so thankful to KHM for giving us the guidance and helping us set this all up and get it going. So yeah, so definitely say welcome to Corey, because he's going to be a huge addition to our company. I still can't believe it. We started this thing 2.5 years ago. Really had no idea what was going to happen, and you all have been a huge blessing to us. And now the fact that we're actually bringing on somebody, believe it or not, in July we will most likely be bringing on somebody else. So there will be 3 in July. So we're just so thankful to all y'all for trusting us, for believing in us. Look, we're not perfect. We know we're not perfect, but we do try awfully hard. When things don't quite go right, we try our best to, if we can do something to help make it right, we will. But otherwise, we try to own up to our mistakes. And fortunately, they have been few and far between. But we are not perfect. We're human after all. So some things can slip through the cracks. Some things might not come out the way we thought they were going to come out. Some things are way beyond our control. But we are very thankful to all y'all for sticking with us and allowing us to be your travel partner. We don't take that lightly. It's a big responsibility. And, we work hard every single day. I work hard every single day anyway. Rebecca works every day.
I freely admit I cannot put in the hour.
Nobody can put in the hours that I put in.
No. It's insane. It really is.
Every time we're on a cruise, I get all these comments to some of my stuff. I want to be just like you. I want your life. And here's if you want my life, this is what you do.
Do not want his life.
You work 100 hours this week. You make sure you don't screw up anybody's cruise or trip. You work your hardest not to screw up somebody's trip. And then you do it again next week. And then you do it again next week. And you keep doing it every freaking week. And
there is a lot of caffeine involved.
There's a lot of caffeine involved. That's why I have my new machine, which you can't see. It's behind the graphic. And let me see there. There we go. All right. There's my new espresso machine right there. That thing is working overtime. So seriously, if you want to work to my level, I only know one way to work, and that is just at a very high level. Because like when I had my creative agencies, we were fortunate to be part of over 13 Emmy Awards, as part of 2 Peabody Awards. And I can't remember how many Telly Awards. So we worked at a very high level. We're a small team, mighty team, but we worked to a very, very high level. And that's the same standards that I brought when we came to this. And, if you want to quote unquote be like me, you're going to work a minimum of 80 hours a week. You want to be like me. And that's why I'm starting to bring in some other people. And we now have access to this amazing new feature. Those of you who are working with me, you know all about Turn for Travelers, because that's the whole travel system that we've been working with you guys. They've introduced a whole new feature where I can start to bring in some virtual assistants and things like that, like not AI assistants, but actual people virtually to come in and help with some aspects of the business too. So maybe I won't have to work 80 to 100 hours a week anymore, but
anyway. You might get it down to 70 or 75. Get it down to
70 or 60. I don't know. It's weird for me when I'm not working. I'm
lucky I'm married to the boss, because I do take an afternoon nap every day.
Take a nap. I don't get naps during the day, but she does.
Well, you're not good at napping. You are not good at napping. You never nap well.
I'm terrible at nap. When I actually fall down to a nap, then I'm truly exhausted, because I don't nap well at all. She naps at a drop of a hat. She's out.
I'm not out, but I'm laying there peacefully with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I can't do it. There's just too much to do. And like every night I'm working. My day usually starts somewhere around 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it usually wraps up. I take a break for dinner, but then after dinner, I usually go in and do a couple more hours of work. So it's a long day, but hey, I like it. I love what I do. I wouldn't have it any other way right now. And I'm very thankful that all y'all have come along for the ride. And now we've got Corey with us. Corey, I can't wait to see you tomorrow night. We're going to be going to the Magic Kingdom. Honestly, I'll just say it out loud. It's my least favorite park because it's the most annoying to get into. You got to park, and you got to go to the Ticket and Transportation Center. Then you either got to take the ferry or you got to take the monorail, and you get to cross. I mean, it's a really cute park. It really is. But I much prefer going to Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studio because you can park and just get right into the park.
It's going to be culture shock going to Disneyland.
I know. I can't wait to go to Disneyland next year. Yay!
Just go from the hotel and walk in.
Walk right in. There we are.
Well, I mean, we have to walk.
And then walk right to the back of it. Like, wait, we're here? We're done? Okay.
Yeah, I read today that Disneyland can fit inside Magic Kingdom's parking lot.
Yes, it can. It can. Disneyland. And remember, Disneyland is the Magic Kingdom. It's not the California Adventure too.
No.
But yeah, it can fit in the parking lot. So, which means it can probably fit in the Seven Seas Lagoon. Right outside there. So yeah, it's going to be amazing. So, all right, folks. So we'll be back on Sunday morning at 10:30 for our normal, but I didn't want to let another Thursday go by. I don't know when I'm going to have another guest, probably after we get back from Alaska. I don't think I have one next week. I'll try to get one next week. I'm working on getting more rivers. Huh?
We may be busy packing.
Sure, we might be busy packing. Hey, that'll be the live stream. We'll pack while we're live streaming. That would actually be fun.
No.
That'd actually be, just make sure all the underwear is already in the suitcase before we start.
Your unmentionables.
The unmentionables. All right, guys. So we'll see you on Sunday morning at 10:30 for our normal Cruise Chat Live. Again, I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel. If we can help you anyway with your travels, just reach out. Where'sWalterTravel.com. Our services are 100% free to you. So why wouldn't you use us? So thanks again for tuning in. Have a great evening, everybody. We will see you soon.